What up, y'all? It's your boy Bobby V, and you're watching Popdust. Keep it locked.
We are on the Popdust couch with Tangie B Moore and BobbyV,
yes,
who is the lead and the director of our movie coming out on BET October 8th.
Yes.
Hollywood Hearts?
Yes.
We didn't.
Well, actually, I was working on a short initially, a short film, or well, really like a short movie. And the director of the short, he introduced us to Tangie. She saw some of the movie, she liked it, and she really took it to the next level. So I remember we met at a Mexican restaurant. They were already sitting down in there, and the heavenways opened up when I walked in and saw Tangie. So she was like, oh my gosh, I got something, I'm gonna make it bigger than what you could even imagine.
They were going to initially enter it into the film festival, so it was going to be like a 6-minute short, and so they wanted our mutual peer acquaintance called me and said, hey, I want you to take a look at this and see if it has the legs to, go, become a feature. Yeah. And so we met, and I had heard a lot about Bobby, never met him. And I was kind of, interested to see Bobby's personality, because you hear all kinds of things, and I loved him immediately. Like, he came in, he was so funny, and then he shared with me the concept, and I thought the concept was dope because to me it was different than what you see, and the concept was about an artist who was struggling between, love of the industry and all that goes with it, and also in love with a special lady. And so he was struggling with, wanting to do right by this relationship. And so I was like, oh yeah, I can totally paint that picture. So I went away, wrote the script, and we went right to work, right?
Sure did.
Well, the thing is I have a vault in my home. I have 2 offices in my home. But when I go away, that means I need to get it done quick. And for me, going away means I need to get the script done within a week. So there were other projects that were on the table, and Bobby wanted to get this project done relatively quickly, and we wanted to get it done because his album also was accompanying the project. So we wanted to get it done. So I went away so that I could really hone in and focus. Got the script done in a week, and then we started our table reads right after.
Well, actually, those friends are like my real friends, I know V-Tino, he was like the first person to ever even put me on Love and Hip Hop. He was like, yo, man. And when I first met him, he was like, yo, you got a lot of personality. You need your own show, man. But, in the meantime, why don't you come hop on, a couple scenes? And this was a few years ago. So I hopped on there with him, and we became close buddies. He actually lives 2 doors down from me in my building now, which is crazy. As far as everybody else, Life Jennings, we became friends years ago. We had a few shows together, and I think a lot of people underestimate me as an artist. And Life Jennings, being like a real artist, he plays guitar. And in my show, I bring out the piano and I play the keys, and a lot of people don't know that I play piano. So when he saw that, we immediately had a musical connection, and from there we've been cool. Asia Sparks, she's a rapper. I met her at the Brunner Brothers hair show, and I met her initially just to talk to her as maybe a girlfriend or something, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood Hearts, you know what I'm saying? So, but when I really got to know her, her personality, she doesn't live in Atlanta, but we did a lot of talking on the phone, and I got to know her personality. I was just like, you know what? She would be perfect for this role that she plays. Willie Hen, he plays my nemesis in the movie. He was brought on by Ben Brown, who was the initial director of the short film. And who else? Who am I missing? That's about. Oh, and DC Young Fly is a friend of mine. He's the upcoming hot new Chris Tucker kind of guy.
Yeah.
So he definitely makes his cameo in the movie. All of these people were just brought on, and it just made sense to put them in a movie, and it all worked out. It's definitely my experiences, but it's a lot of twists and turns that, in Tangie's mind. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is Tangie's, her thought process. But of course, being in this industry, meeting a lot of women, trying to have a girlfriend, and it being so hard, it all really kind of coincides with my life in a sense anyway. So it kind of is my life, but it's not my life. And I think Tangie, by us having a lot of conversations, she kind of peeped that out with me, and it was kind of easy for her to come up with the whole idea for the movie. The craziest thing I would say is probably the cleaning girl at the hotel one time. She just wanted to overly clean my room, and
just your room?
Just my room. She might have wanted to clean me too, you know what I'm saying? But hey, I didn't let that happen on camera. But anyway, so I just remember her saying, okay, every time I would leave, she would be just in the hall, like just sitting at the cart or whatever. And I came back, and she was like in my room, like still fluffing the pillows, and I had to make sure she wasn't in there stealing stuff, you know what I'm saying? But she was in there just, I'm just giving your pillows some extra fluff, you have a great night's sleep. No, you need to leave the premises because I'm kind of scared of you right now. You're lightweight stalking me. So that might be the one that stands out on top of my head right now. It's definitely. I think it's hard to date. You constantly have, so many people coming at you, and it's just hard. Me being in the industry pretty much all my life, I can have a simple conversation with a young lady and already tell if she's the same or if she's different. And most women kind of are the same, you know what I'm saying? So it's about finding that woman that has a different thought process, and that's a little different. And even then, you still gotta keep an eye on them. I gotta keep an eye on all y'all women, because y'all is sneaky, you hear me? Y'all are really the pussycats. Y'all are the pussycats. Y'all gonna boo-boo and dig it real deep. A dog, he just gonna go doo-doo on the tree. Everybody gonna see it, you know what I'm saying? He don't care. But the women, see, y'all real easy to cover it up, and you can catch a woman you can catch her in the act. And the act of cheating. And she's gonna be like, it wasn't even like that. We was just talking business. I mean, we was tongue kissing, but I got a new tongue line coming out. You know what I'm saying? A new tongue compressor. So we was just tonguing for that, trying to see if it worked right. It ain't even like that. I don't even like him. And then she gonna get the dude to vouch for him and everything. You gonna be like, damn, is she really telling the truth? She might. I call her kissing, but I don't know. You know.
Well, let's just say, thank God I'm not an innocent.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's amazing for me. I kind of got, my husband says I have an alpha personality. I'm kind of female that loves the challenge of having a lot on my plate. And I'm very much involved with my children. Some working women are not really able to be hands-on, with their children. But I tend to do okay with juggling it all. And when I know that I need to get away, I break away, And the cool thing is having the support of my husband, my bestie. That really, having, that strong union and us supporting one another. I mean, he, is also a, 20-year vet in the music industry, produced for everyone, Wyclef, Coldplay, so forth. So he has his own, he's a beast in and of himself, you know. But we support each other, you know. When it's time for him to go away, and he travels quite a bit as well, then I hold it down, and I have a system, you know. It's also about organizing and having a system, having a strong support team, which I have a strong support team as well, and it's helped me to become successful, I feel, and it's a lot going on. We Tier 2 Films, we actually have a show that's getting ready to premiere in the spring on WeTV, and then we're working on a deal right now with Stone Village and DreamWorks for a scripted series with NBC. So it's a lot going on, and then Bobby's already putting me to work for 2017.
Yeah, for the next film.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of awesome things, and it's a lot of juggling that takes place. But you know, just having a strong support system, you know, having hubby there, you know, and then also having understanding kids, you know, they know that they can't just completely, you know, own you. You know, I think, you know, it seems to work seamlessly. Oh, I mean, well, you know, diversity. I think, you know, we're starting to see it. It's sprinkling more and more. You know, you have Empire, you have Blackish. We're starting to see, you know, Fresh Off the Boat, Dr. Ken. You're starting to see it, you know, more and more. I think that Hollywood is starting to open up and know that it actually works. It works to put people that look like the audiences that you're wanting, you know, to cater to put them on the screen, you know, and to allow, you know, a more multicultural story to go out there. And I think that they're starting to really kind of see that, and the shows like those that I've mentioned is opening, you know, the doors, and to me, I call them a launch pad for writers like myself. I mean, there's so many, you know, I won't begin to name them all, but I'm excited to see that they're starting to open up, you know, a little bit, and we're able to see content with talent that looks like us, and in the writer's room, individuals that look like us as well. And so, and then behind the camera, directors, crew members, everyone, you know, it's just starting to, I think, kind of, you know, mix up a little bit and become a little more versatile. So that's a good thing, and I'm excited to see where it will continue to go from here.
I mean, I've actually started on it. It's called farm school, since my dad is in horticulture, and I'm gonna try to get Tangie to revisit it. But it's just basically about my family, you know, and I think that especially us as Black people and people of color, or even, you know, minorities, we all need to see more family-oriented things. And of course, I always get opportunities to do Finding Love with Bobby, you know what I'm saying, looking for my girlfriend and all that type of stuff. But I actually want to be a positive role model and somebody that people can look up to, and people can see family. You know what I'm saying? I know that you can see that with T.I.'s show, and I think that it needs to be more shows like that showing family, because that's what I think that America totally is missing, is people and their families. And I feel like if we can see that a lot more, you know, of course we still want to see the ratchet, but we still want to see, you know, it'll be great to see family. You know what I'm saying? And I think it will be kind of based around the farm, and my dad having a farm, and all of our lives individually as well, but mainly at the end of the day, we coming together on Sunday to eat dinner and talk about our problems and our issues and issues of the world today, and how that we can be a better family, how that we can serve the communities better, you know, how that, you know, people can look at us as positive influences. Yeah, the album is actually dropping the same day as the movie. October 8th. It's titled Hollywood Hearts as well. And I worked with a producer I worked with Tim and Bob on the album as well. And I worked with an upcoming producer. His name is Emerson. He's from Toronto. And he's an amazing producer. He really came in. We recorded at my house. And he really came in and kind of like made like a real futuristic kind of R&B album. So this album is like really a lot of songs that's on the album are in the movie.
Yeah, the music in the film is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and
so
Bobby's album is awesome.
Yeah, the album is crazy. And it's just like really where I think that R&B should be right now. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I don't have features. That I know that's like the first thing everybody asks. Well, hey, what features do you have on there? I wanted to do a real R&B album because I feel like R&B is just like slacking so much. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that does an R&B album, it sounds like a rap album. Everybody is just and that's cool. But I feel like that the world is missing R&B right now. You know what I'm saying? The world, we're being conditioned to spend all our money. We've been conditioned to see how many drugs we can do and overdose. You know what I'm saying? And we're being conditioned to see how many women we can have sex with. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with R&B music, and also we've been conditioned to hurt your brother, your fellow brother. You know what I'm saying? To take, rob, steal, and kill by any means. And I think that all of those things that music is really taking us to as a community is really dividing us and bringing us down. Now, of course, it sounds good and it's popping when it's on, you know what I'm saying, when we faded or in the club or whatever. But if we constantly hear that, what else can we think? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like R&B music, I wanted to do a real R&B album. Now, I think that every project for me was a learning experience. You know, I think pretty much every song I put out, whether it was a #1 record or not, I think in my eyes it was a #1 record, regardless of if it did that on the charts or not. I just believe in myself and believe in my craft that much because I really, I've gone to school for music. You know, I've studied music. I've been around the greats as a child, like being around Organized Noise, who had TLC and Outkast and Goody Mob, who really made real music. That's what I come from. So to come from that, it's like I can't really go backwards. So all of my music and all my albums, it will all have that live instrumentation. It will have that good feel, and it'll have that good music. And that's what this album is too. So I don't have any regrets. My only regret was on my third album, I got $1 million budget. And I spent the whole $1 million recording in LA and doing stupid stuff. Riding in Lamborghinis and just being a young, you know, with $1 million budget. Like, hey, I got all this money. And then at the end of the day, when you look at what you spent it on, you're like, damn, I could have spent this. I could have spent $50,000 on this project. But, you know, it was a learning lesson. And if anything, I would say that would be my only regret.
He is hardcore.
We talking WWE or
yes, all
everything,
of it, and my kids. They know every WWE. I know nothing, but they know everything, and it's so funny because the other day they were screaming some chanting, and I was like, "What the hell are they talking about?" And it was something from the wrestling. So they're all about it. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Like, do it. Do it. I come from background in journalism, and my mom passed away, and it kind of, you know, jolted me in my life, you know. And my husband was like, "Well, dude, like," because I was a publisher. Yeah, I owned a magazine for many years, and it was a nationally distributed publication, and that was my baby, you know, because I grew it from nothing to having Tyra and Denzel and people who didn't even interview with print, had them in there. And you know, when you know, we had to make the decision to close the magazine down because people like you guys took took our jobs.
I miss print.
Yeah, but no, it's all good because I mean that's the evolution, you know, and things grow and change. And so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing this, you know? And so I had to make some really hardcore decisions, and he was like, okay, so what do you want to do? At the end of the day, I'm a storyteller. I love to tell stories. That is my passion. I feel like the creator put me on this earth to tell stories. So I said, well, hey, let me take it from print and take it to TV and film. And that's exactly what I set out to do. Now, was that easy? No, I didn't go to school for that. I knew nothing, you know, about that. But what I did is I studied, you know, I read, I did whatever it took, and then I took my own money and I did my first feature. And surprisingly, it was well received. I got a distribution deal. It was distributed from, you know, in Walmarts and everywhere. And then I did my second one, and my second feature that I wrote and directed, you know, aired on BET. Yeah. Now, you know, this is my third feature, you know, and then I'm scheduled to release a theatrical film in 2017. Okay. So you just gotta do it, and you can't care. You can't you cannot care. Everyone will say, even your parents, you know, your siblings, your spouse, they may say, nah. Like, you just gotta step out there and do it, because if you don't do it, you will never get to see, you know, what the outcome could be. So I say just do it and stay steadfast and commit to your passion, and you will see the results.